Hello everyone, Halcylion here. Today's video is going to be my final combat challenge for Greedfall. As you can see, I'm level 37 and this time around I will defeat the final boss of this game with nothing but level 1 gear. I don't currently have any level 1 equipment, but we can easily obtain it. Now, here's my current equipment. But I will reset my skills and you will see what happens. I'll use one memory crystal and I will choose magic. I'll explain why shortly. And as I press OK, you can see that my gear has been reverted to level 1. The reason this happens is to prevent any exploits. Let's say you are a level 5 endurance with the best armor around. You can just keep that armor on you when you reset your skills and your endurance is back to 0. So, because you can't walk around naked in the world of Greedfall, you are issued some basic traveling gear. I'll also remove this cape. It doesn't offer any combat advantage, but I want my character to look as basic as possible for this challenge. Now, the reason I chose magic was to have access to the Novice ring. I do have the Inquisitor's ring, but it doesn't conform to the standards of our challenge, so I needed this one. But the ring and magic won't be our primary way of dealing damage, and for that reason I will reset my skills yet again, this time choosing technical. There we go. Rusty stiletto, rusted saber, trusty pistol. Now, there's one last thing I need to do with my skills. Unlock the Divine Magic Ring skill and I'll switch the saber to the magic ring. Now I have a dagger, a ring and a pistol, which should offer me plenty of versatility during the fight. Now this is how our gear stays like. I will change nothing about this, but the restriction for this challenge is only placed on gear, which means I'll make full use of my talents, attributes and skills to help me win. Now, talents aren't very important. I'll mostly need level 1 vigor. That's pretty much the only requirement I have, because I have 281 gear out of 200. Now with level 1 vigor, I can carry my gear without worrying. But I will still invest all talent points. Let's go for level 3 vigor. Level 3 science, I'll invest in science to justify all the consumables I have on me and that I will use. Maybe intuition level 3. And crafting 1. Again, they don't offer any advantage during the fight. Now, attributes are more important because, well, attributes lock out gear, but since our gear stays the same, we'll only be using the other advantages. As you can see, agility offers you plus 10% physical damage for each level, for a total of 50% extra melee damage. Once my agility is maxed out, of course. Since melee is our primary way of dealing damage, we'll only invest in agility 5. Now, the other points will be spread thin across accuracy, level 3 for some extra oomph when firing my gun, maybe level 3 mental power for some extra magic damage, and now I could invest 2 remaining points into either this, mental power, or accuracy for more damage with guns or magic, but I won't do that. Instead I will focus on, I'll put these points into willpower so I can have more mana. You know, more versatility. And now for the skills. These will take me a while to complete, so I'll see you guys once it's done. All done with the skills. Now I won't comment on every single skill I've chosen, but I will highlight the important ones, such as the bomb, which will be our primary way of dealing ranged damage to our target, especially to the armor. Now the bomb uses adrenaline, which is why I couldn't invest into storm. Well, both these ultimates use adrenaline and, well, I've made my choice. Now, the next important skills I've chosen are dodge roll, as well as lightning dash, so I can have some mobility when using both my sword and my ring. This will increase my survivability in the fight. Next up we have file throw, which is kind of useless if I'm perfectly honest, but it should still add some variety to the fight, as well as anointed weapons. Now, as you can see, anointed weapons isn't maxed out. That's because I'll only be using the poison. I took Assassin's Touch, which increases the effectiveness of the poison applied to my weapon, and that's pretty much it. Now, because I didn't max out this, and I also didn't invest in Storm and Shadow Burst as I was initially tempted to, These saved skill points were instead invested into stasis, which puts my enemy in a temporary timeout, which was maxed out until the crystallization perk, which allows me to deal plus 50% extra damage on the next attack following a stasis effect. I won't be using this too often, but it should still prove useful. Now, this is all with the skills. There's one last thing I need to do before stepping into the fighting arena, and that is organizing my ability bar. And this is how my ability bar looks like. Now, I will most likely be sticking to the first 5 or 6 buttons, because the others are too far away from my movement keys on the keyboard, but we are all done. Now, there's one last thing I need to mention before the fight, and that is, before this fight there is a cutscene which contains some major spoilers, so I will edit it out to remove the spoilers for those unlucky enough to have landed on this video without finishing the game themselves. Anyway, with all that said, here we go. Hello there, Nadaig Bar. Now, he started off strong. This is our chance to strike. But we need to back off. I added some poison to my blade. Now let's see his next move. Is he gonna jump? Yes, he is. Let's back off. Dodge, bomb. You can see that I dealt heavy armor damage to him. He's also decently poisoned, so he is taking some health damage as well. Now, that attack could have been parried, but I lost my focus for a second. This attack is very hard to dodge, so I had to block it instead. Blocking that attack doesn't do anything other than prevent you from taking damage. Now, that attack could have been parried, but I didn't time it well. Let's switch to magic a little bit, build some adrenaline. And into a bomb. No more armor, we can dodge that one. We have to be very careful when we're using magic because I can parry and my block has to be done very precisely. Now's the time for some poison. Okay, gotta block that one. And this one. He has an affinity to knocking me out, keeping me in a permanent state of lockdown. As you can see, I'm doing quite a lot of fury attacks. Could have died there. Okay, let's back off. Let's put him in a timeout and drink a potion. I'm doing quite a lot of mistakes during this fight. That is in no way perfect. Let's give him another timeout. Dodge. Drink a potion and dodge again. I guess we could use a bomb. Ouch. I couldn't dodge. I tried to dodge to the left. Now that was a nice parry. Time for another mistake correction. Now, I am technical, so I should be using a lot more traps. And files, why not? Let's do this. 15 seconds of poison is nothing to scoff at. Now, for some reason, he doesn't seem to trigger those traps. Oh boy. I need to put more poison on my dagger. Now, the reason I'm doing this challenge is to prove to anyone that as long as you have skills and you know what you're doing, you don't really need the best gear around. In fact, you don't need any gear at all. You just need to be careful, time your abilities and your blocks right. As you can see, I'm parrying quite reliably. Now, the only piece of gear you do need in this game is okay, had to take a little time out because I was focusing on something else. The only piece of gear you need in this game is a poison sword at the start of the game so it can carry you. Other than that, you don't really need anything. After you acquire your ultimate and some extra skills, you can do everything yourself with 0 gear. Switch back to magic. As you can see, magic is a very reliable way of getting hurt, apparently. A very reliable way to build fury. Okay, gotta back off, put the guy in stasis to drink a potion. There we go. All good. Good thing I blocked this one. Another parry and another block. I have to. And let's get the hell out of here before it starts raining on me. And again. He's really enjoying using that mouth laser. He's poisoned quite a lot. Okay. I don't like getting stuck in him. Oh boy. Let's give him another timeout. Alright, as soon as this fight will end, there will be a cutscene, and as I said, I like to avoid spoilers. And for that reason, I'll have to do my outro right now. So, this was all from me for today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I also hope to see you next time. Goodbye.